Oh, that's right. We're right here at WCRS Radio. We did not get floated away yesterday, but I tell you what, with all the rain and everything last night, it was not a night to be outside, was it, Penny? Are you here, Penny? Penny's here this morning. She's got her little palmetto tree shirt on here this morning. We're expecting a visit from Mark Murff out there at Gunnells Marine. He's going to be stopping by to see us. I hope he brings that life jacket he was talking about. Penny may need it in the backyard. Oh my goodness, have you seen all the flooding and everything that's gone on around here? The rain has just been crazy. If you're on social media, I'm sure you get to see so much of the flooding and whatnot that's going on. So if the lake was low, I don't think it's low anymore. What do you think, folks? I don't think so. So how you doing? Everybody okay? Everybody here? Yesterday, over 40,000 people early voted. That was a huge number and was part of, according to the Democrats, their plan to help defeat changing of the redistricting. Did it work? Well, I don't know. But yesterday, the Senate decided not to put forward the redistricting. It was struck down. Now, there's a lot of discussion about what the future is, who should be primaried, who should be out, this type of thing. I think the bottom line, the problem with the whole thing, this is just my opinion now, was the fact that it dragged right into early voting. And had they not done this during early voting, maybe they could have gotten it done. But when it ran from last Friday, I think they worked a little bit on Saturday, gave it up, and came back on Tuesday. As Ann Eller said, they would not, I repeat, they would not work on Memorial Day. Guess what? They made that choice, came in on Tuesday morning. I can't imagine what they were thinking. Oh, yeah, this is a piece of cake. Let's just go ahead and do what Donald Trump wants. Well, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on where you're sitting, a lot of people, the Senate couldn't come up with a majority, and so they had to pass on it. In the end, more Republicans joined with the Democrats. I don't have their exact names or anything here, but in the end, that was the way it was and the way it came down yesterday. Now, I haven't heard, and I haven't really looked that hard, to tell you the truth, to see what reaction President Trump had on this, but it kind of goes with the history of South Carolina. We've always been a rebel state, right? We're small, but we're rebelized. And I don't know what they say. I've read some things that I was reading early this morning said that they may take it up after June 10th. I'm like, what's the purpose, guys? Anyways, the purpose was to try to get rid of the likelihood that President Trump might have a very slim or no majority in the House. Well, that's not going to happen for this election cycle. So what is the purpose in doing it? So I don't know whether they'll do that either. So what did you think? 864-332-9355. Or you can join me right here on Facebook Live, WCRS Radio. That, along with the rain, are probably the biggest stories going. You know, it is great to be in the job that I am in because I get to comment on all these things that are happening right here in our state. And you never have to worry about what am I going to talk about today. There are always stories there to talk about. So anyways, that's where we're at. Coming up at 10 o'clock this morning, we are going to have Mark Murff. He is the Benny hears the doorbell ringing. May already be here. Mark Murff is the general manager of Gunnells Marine. They are having a big boat show, in-water boat show this weekend out there at Grand Harbor. So we're going to find out more about that. He said he was going to bring Penny a life jacket, and so we'll see if he did. If she did, that could be a good thing because she may really need it out there in the backyard. That's right. The Serengeti right out there is swamped. So this is something that I thought I would just mention here, and looking forward to talking to Mark here at the top of the hour. But in the meantime, let's check the weather and see if we're going to have any more rain coming down. That's what I want to know. Are we finished with the rain? I looked out the door just a minute ago. It looked like we had sunny skies coming out, and that would be nice because we sure need to dry out. Right now it is 74 outside. Feels like 74. We are looking for a high today of 86. And let's see what they're saying for rain. At 10 a.m., we have a 15% chance of rain. At 12 p.m., 4%. So maybe the rain is over. Looks like we may have some 15% chance of a little rain, but that is about it. So we are maybe clearing out with the rain. Says it's going to be mainly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. So that is a good thing. All around Greenwood, I saw videos that showed where things had flooded. So if you are out there on the roads, I presume most of it is off the roads. But last night, early this morning, it was very problematic on where the flooding was. So if you saw standing water, you should be kind of careful out there. All right, so we've got the weather is going to be okay. What have we got for the rest of the week? Wednesday, Thursday is going to be a high of 89, low of 66. Partly cloudy skies this morning will give way to cloudy skies during the afternoon. That is on Thursday. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Friday comes in with a high of 82, low of 67. Saturday comes in with a high of 80, low of 65, and about a 40% chance of showers. Sunday, the 31st, the last day of May, looks like a high of 73, low of 63, and about a 20% chance of showers. So, what do you think about all this rain? What do you think about what happened with redistricting? I was actually surprised. I thought they probably would go through with it. I thought that they probably would be very tight going through, but the very fact that they didn't go through kind of gives us a little pause for what is happening. So come on in, Mark. You can have a seat here. We're just doing a little talking before you get ready to come on the air with us. Penny's kind of looking at you going, what's going on? What's going on? So we've got Mark Murff here. He's going to be joining us in a few minutes, and he did bring Penny's life jacket. So we have hope that she won't go sloshing away with this weather. So that's pretty cool. What else did I want to talk about? We've got, just want to make sure we catch a few of these things before we get started with Mark. Some events. some events coming up. The International Food Trucks is going to be Saturday uptown with the International Food Truck Fest, hosted by Starlight Events, which of course is Ruby Harlow. That'll be going on from 11 to 7 at the Uptown Market right here in Greenwood. You can try a variety of cuisines from around the globe and vote for your favorite international food truck. $1 per vote. Oh, they're charging for your votes now. Okay, I like it. Proceeds support the food bank of the Lakelands. Places for your first, second, and third will be awarded along with one beverage winner. So this is a family-friendly event. Features family-friendly activities such as music, arts and crafts, vendors, and giveaways. You know, I got to commend Ruby Harlow. She has gone out there, and a lot of people talk about doing stuff, but Ruby Harlow, she did it. I mean, what is this? The third one, I think, and she does her bridal shows. She is, and her Hispanic show is another big hit here in Greenwood. So kudos to you, Ruby Harlow, from us right here on WCRS. So make sure you put that on your calendar of things to do. The splash pad will also be open, so that'll be a lot of fun too. Also coming up Thursday through June 6th is the annual Juried Youth Show for the South Carolina Festival of Flowers at the Art Center. This show invites young artists from the region to showcase their creativity. Admission to view the entries is free, plus $1,000 in cash prizes is awarded for top entries. So that'll be all going on at the Art Center. And don't forget, American Legion Baseball starts Thursday evening through Saturday. Join the American Legion Post 20 Baseball for a 3-day Lakeland Summer Classic Invitational. First games begin at 5 p.m. and Thursday is Veterans and, I believe, First Responders Day too. So make sure you put that down there. If you haven't been out there to the old Civic Center location at the John B. Nave baseball field out there, you should go out there and check it out. They've done a lot of upgrades and they are ready for you to come out there on Thursday. So Saturday, they're also having a car show 10 to 4. It's the Emerald City and Spring Car Show at the Greenwood County Farmers Market Building. Free admission. More than 100 vendors are expected to be on site. Woo! Browse through rows of cars and trucks with door prizes. Compete in a cornhole tournament. I tell you what, they got it all going on, and that'll be going on this Saturday at the Greenwood County Farmers Market. So that'll be going on. There's more going on, but I just wanted to make sure that you knew about some of these things. This Saturday is the final day to view the Federal Building and exhibit at the Art Center of Greenwood, This Land, America 250. So a celebration of American landscapes through works from 4 different artists, and that's going on through Saturday. And the topiaries are making their appearance. I don't know how all this rain is going to affect them. So I imagine they'll be working real hard to make sure that everything is good on the topiaries. But a lot of them are already out. So make sure if you like to go uptown and see the topiaries, you can start seeing them all over uptown Greenwood. So that's a few of the things going on. There's more, but that's just a few. Wanted to make sure you knew about here on WCRS Radio. So, got to go out. If you'd like to early vote, you can early vote between now and, the 5th, next Friday. So you have a little over a week to early vote. They are voting at the library, the Greenwood Library, and they are voting in 96 at the Visitor Center there. Those are the only 2 places here in Greenwood that will be available for early voting. You cannot vote at the voter registration because guess what? they're under construction over there. Got a big project going on that. So, but if you'd like to early vote, you certainly can. Make sure you check that out. All right. Well, I tell you what. Penny is all excited to learn about boating here today because, not only have we got all those other activities going on, but we've got a in-water boat show out there at Grand Harbor, and they are going to be trying to make sure that you find out all the latest from Gunnells Marine. So we're going to be talking to Mark Murff. We're going to be talking about water safety. And by the way, if you want to learn to swim, I hope you've already signed up over there at the YMCA. I was talking to them yesterday. Their classes are filled over there, but they will be offering more classes. So that's another thing to make sure that we get you as adults and kids to learn how to swim. It creates a lot more fun when you go out on the water. All right, well, we're going to hear a quick commercial break, and then we're going to be here with Mark Murff. So I hope you're going to stay tuned right here on WCRS Radio. Let's drop the curtain here for a second, and to go to the commercial break, let's cue the music, and we will be right back. Actually, let's just play the commercials. What the heck? Let's just play the commercials. Here you go. Take it away.
Step up to the plate with Greenwood American Legion Post 20, celebrating our 85th consecutive year of proud tradition. This season brings new energy with head coach Corby Long leading the way, building champions in baseball and softball on and off the field. From the diamond to the dugout, we're more than a team, we're family, and it's the best deal in town. Kids 12 and under are free. Join the tradition, bring the family, be part of Post 20's legacy today.
Lindsey Graham wants to steal your Social Security. He wants to cut your benefits and raise the retirement age to 70, which is our average lifetime expectancy. My name is Mark Lynch. I'm running for the United States Senate against Lindsey Graham to save your Social Security and protect what you've paid into all these years. I've grown my company over 35 times in the last 40 years, debt-free, and I want to take that experience to Washington to help South Carolinians. In D.C., we'll stop spending, we'll cut the budget, and we'll end this out-of-control inflation. And most of all, we'll protect our seniors' Social Security benefits. Lindsey Graham's legacy is one of putting South Carolinians' interests last. I'm Mark Lynch. Vote for me June 9th to save Social Security for our seniors, rebuild our infrastructure, and build a better future for South Carolinians.
Paid for and authorized by Lynch for Senate.
Hi, this is Brantley with Greenwood Chick-fil-A. Nominate your office, teachers, church group, or team for breakfast for a bunch with WCRS. We love surprising and delighting our Greenwood community. Call or text 864-332-9355. It would be our pleasure. Call or text 864-332-9355 for breakfast for a bunch with WCRS.
Hi, this is John McCravey. I've been proud to stand firm for our Christian conservative values in Columbia, and I've advocated for the local issues that impact our community every day. Whether it's protecting Lake Greenwood or simply being available when you need help, I've always believed in being responsive to the people that I serve. If you need me, you can call me directly at 864-396-3110. If you're not in my contact list, text me and leave a message. I'm John McCravey, and I'm proud to approve this message.
Something about a boat sitting on the sea, out there in the wind, floating on free. Take you around the world, bring you back home, gives a man hope. Something about a boat. Something about an old guitar and the way it still sings after all the smoky bars and the broken strings. Played a million songs, broke a lot of hearts, healed a lot how something that seems like nothing at all can take a big old world and make it seem so small. Seeing the windows where there are walls makes a whole lot of something out of nothing at all. Well, something about a dog sitting by your side. If you had a bad day, he ain't gonna run and hide, wagging that tail and grinning that grin. Something about a dog makes a man's best friend. Ain't it crazy how something that seems like nothing at all can take a big old world and make it seem so small. Seeing the windows where there are walls makes a whole lot of something out of nothing at all. Yeah, it does.
Oh, that's right. That's Patrick Davis, Something About a Boat, right here on WCRS. If you happen to be watching, you saw Penny just saying, well, when you're talking about a dog, yeah, you got me right here. And she is partially wearing, we sort of got her on her during that break. Look at me. Her own life jacket. So this is important. I don't know. Can you see her life jacket? She's got it. What does it say? Connolly? Connolly? Yes, I think that's right. And this will keep your dog safe when you're on the water. We've got Mark right here this morning. Mark, how you doing here today?
We're doing great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, what do you think about Penny here? Is she ready for the water, sort of?
I think she's ready.
She's ready. Yeah, she. We don't usually go out on a boat, but we do go out and walk by the lake, and she loves being out there. She loves getting in the puddles at the Serengeti out back here, where we have so much water.
Perfect.
So, had you have a lot of water out your place there?
We did. We've had a lot of rain.
Oh,
a lot of rain.
God. It's just been...
We needed it.
Yeah, we did. All at once, though?
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe not. Well, you are the general manager out there at Gunnells Marine right out here. So what are you guys doing this weekend?
Well, we're going to have an in-water boat show out at Grand Harbor at the marina. We're going to have some boats in the water available for everybody to come out, check them out, look around, and then kind of narrow it down to a boat that you like, and we can go for a boat ride.
Well, so what are the things that you have to consider when you're looking at buying a boat?
Well, first of all, you want to find something, their size to take into consideration. Mm-hmm. You want to find something that's going to accommodate the number of people that you're looking to accommodate. There's a bunch of different layouts. So it'll give you an opportunity to walk boat to boat and compare the different layouts, sit in it, lay back in the loungers, kind of put yourself in.
Are you going to be serving a libation maybe
well,
to go with that?
Well, we will be at the cabana there at the marina.
Well, that sounds good.
Yeah.
But why do you need to get them in the water, Mark?
There's no better place to see a boat than in the water.
Right.
It gives everybody the opportunity to be on the boat, feel like this is where you're going to be using the boat. So you're going to want to just put yourself in the place. Imagine that you're out on the lake with your family for the day, and find a floor plan that fits your needs well and that you like. And then, another good thing about the in-water show is it'll give people an opportunity to see how a 115 horsepower engine feels versus 150 versus a 200. And we'll even have one boat out there with a 425 horsepower Mercury on it.
To use on Lake Greenwood.
Yes. Yes.
Is that a pontoon boat?
That is a pontoon boat. It is a pontoon boat. It's awesome.
Pontoon boats have come a long way, haven't they, Mark?
They have. I've been doing this for a long time. And, when I first got into the boat business, the pontoon was just basically a sled with a motor on it. And no matter what you did, you couldn't go fast. But they've changed so much. The pontoons today are just not your grandfather's pontoons. They're built for performance. They're built to do pretty much anything you want to do: water sports, cruising. It's a totally different world. And if you look out on Lake Greenwood, what do you see? Pontoon boats. That's definitely the most popular thing, and we've got a couple of different brands that we carry that are just absolutely fantastic boats, and we're looking forward to being out there and everybody being able to experience it.
Yeah, I guess so. But you're right. Pontoon boats sure have changed, and I was, when you kept saying the layout, it sounds like we're buying a camper here.
Well, it kind of is. It really is. You've got different seating configurations. That a lot of people like to have an area in the back to lay out in the sun, or some people like to go to the sandbar and anchor out, and so most of those people like to have a nice big area in the back with loungers facing back. So there's just probably 8 or 10 different configurations that you can choose from and just find the best one that fits your needs.
Wow. Well, we are here with Mark Murff with Gunnells Marine. He is the general manager, and they are having an in-water boat show this weekend, Friday and Saturday. 10 to 6, I think, on Friday, and 10 to 5 on Saturday.
That's
Is
right.
that right? So out there at Grand Harbor, you can come out at the marina and check out these boats. So, what are the things that people have to consider? You're talking about the seating arrangement. Now, these motors, 425 horsepower going on the Lake Greenwood. That sounds a little fast.
Well, there are a lot of people that like horsepower. I've never had
That's why you get a speedboat, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but this does it all.
Okay.
I've never sold a boat to somebody that said, I wish I had not gotten this big of an engine. But I have sold a lot of boats that people say, I wish I'd have got a bigger engine.
A bigger engine.
So the 425 is an exception. That's a new motor by Mercury this year, and we've got a very, very nice Godfrey sampan that we've got it on, and we wanted to have it there for everybody to check out. But you're going to see a lot more 150s, 200 horsepowers that will do everything that the average person needs.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, anyways, so what's the difference from seeing boats lined up on a lot versus seeing them in the water, Mark?
It's just so much easier to, they'll be in the water at the dock. So much easier to go from boat to boat. Compare right one after one. Compare the seating. Compare how you're going to use the boat, and it just makes it a lot easier.
Right. So,
and it does give you the opportunity to go for a boat ride.
Does give you the opportunity to go for a boat ride. Okay, so what is the difference? You're going to have both of these, Godfrey and Harris pontoons at the event. What makes each one unique?
Well, Godfrey is a brand that we've been selling for over 33 years. It's a fantastic boat. They've been building boats since 1958. And they make boats for every trim level, from an entry level all the way up to that sampan I was just mentioning with the 425. Like I say, we've been selling it for 33 years, and it's just a fantastic company. They stand behind their boats better than any company that I've ever known, and I've been doing this for 33 years. And it's just a fantastic boat. The other brand that we'll be carrying is Harris. Harris is a new line for us this year for 2026. It's a brand that I've had experience with in the past, and they just build a very nice premium boat. It's gonna fall a little bit more on the upper end of the spectrum, but it's just a beautifully built boat with a very nice trim level.
So, what do you mean when you mean trim level for those of us that are landlubbers and
Yeah,
don't know?
so like the upholstery, how fancy is the upholstery? They're just like cars. You can buy base level cars, or you can buy some really nice dressed out upper trim levels.
Right.
So both of our boats, the Godfrey and the Harris, have very nice trim levels. But you'll be able to see a little bit of everything this weekend.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that sounds good. Now, I guess it's probably a lot to set all this up, though, isn't it?
It is. My guys have been working diligently to get all these boats water ready. and at a very busy time of the year for us. So they've been running around like the madmen trying to get everything done. It's not going to be such a big deal to get boats in the water. That's kind of what we do. But we'll be ready by Friday morning at 10 o'clock.
Well, with all this rain you're getting, you might just be able to drive them right out there.
That's a good possibility right now. That's a good possibility. The lake is definitely full.
Definitely full. Well, now that brings up another question, because the water level goes up and down on the lake. How does that affect using your pontoon boats?
Well, we're very fortunate here on Lake Greenwood. We have an annual drawdown in the wintertime, but that is very forecastable. So we're not in the situation like a lot of the other lakes around. Hartwell is one that comes to mind, Lake Norman, that Mother Nature has a huge influence on the water levels. Here on Lake Greenwood, they have that annual drawdown, and the goal is always have it back up by April 15th if Mother Nature lets us. And usually it does that. There's actually a federally mandated curb that they have to abide by for the water levels here on Lake Greenwood. So as a general rule, our lake stays full during the boating season.
During the boating season. Now, and another question that comes to mind for me is, what do you do with this boat in the fall or when you're finished with it?
Well, a lot of people have their boats on lifts at their house, and if that's the case, most people just put it to bed right there on the lift. We are fortunate on Lake Greenwood that, the lake drawdown is not so bad. A lot of people can still get their boats out during the fall and winter, and we're fortunate enough here in the area that we've got weather that accommodates that. There's a lot of nice days in November, December, January, February, where we can actually get out and use our boats, unlike up north where, at the end of the season, they have to pull their docks out. They have to, put their boats in dry storage for the winter. We're really lucky that if your water level is good enough to get the boat off the lift during the wintertime, that we can actually go out and go boating some.
Now, what about if somebody doesn't own property on the lake? I mean,
Sure.
we've got some boat drop-off places, but
Sure.
what about those?
So, most people that trailer their boats usually have a place to keep it during the off season. We actually have some storage available for Gunnells Marine. We have some inside storage, outside storage that we offer. And we have a lot of people that at the end of the season have us come out, pick their boats up, bring it in, service it, store it for the winter, and then when it's time to put it back in the water, and it's sitting there waiting on you. So
I like that idea.
that makes it easy.
Yeah, right.
It makes it very, very easy.
Yeah. Now, you brought up about service. So you all do repairs out there on boats,
We do.
motors, and whatnot.
We do. So this year, Gunnells Marine is celebrating their 40th anniversary.
Wow.
We've been in business since 1986, and our business was kind of built on service. Our original owner, Barney and Gwen Gunnells, that's kind of the direction that Barney came from. He came from the service side, and so we built a strong service reputation. We actually got my shop foreman, Buddy Attaway, that's been there for 40 years. He's been there since day one.
Wow.
And there's a lot of knowledge in that head.
Absolutely.
So we're very, very fortunate, and we try to do our very best in service and take care of people the very best that we possibly can.
Well, that's great. That's good to know. So if you are looking for now, is this just pontoon boats you're going to have out there this weekend?
We will have one other boat. So mostly this is pontoon boats. That's pretty much what we sell.
Okay.
I will have one other boat that's a really cool boat. It's a Stingray with a 300 horsepower. And for those go fast guys, you may want to come out and experience that. It is just a sharp looking boat.
How long? How big?
It's 23 foot.
Okay.
300 horsepower Yamaha, and it is a 65 to 70 mile an hour boat. So
on Lake Greenwood.
On Lake Greenwood, yeah, yeah. So everybody should come out and check that out.
Yeah, okay. Because, I was just thinking, and what about, do you do fishing boats too or not?
We do a few fishing pontoons, not so much fishing boats.
Pontoons.
That's right. Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
So, like I say, on the pontoon side, there are layouts to kind of fit every need.
Right.
And that's one of them.
Wow. Okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I'm not really a big boater. I'm not really a big boater.
Understood.
So,
we should do something about that.
Yeah, right. Maybe we should. But I grew up doing sailboats,
Right.
and we don't see many sailboats down here, do we? Really?
Not too many. Because of our bridge heights, a sailboat like Greenwood is kind of limited to where they can go. That's right. But there are a few out there.
There are a few, yeah. But the pontoon boat is alive and well. So one of the things that I was questioning is what about inspections? Is this the weekend or was it last weekend when they were doing lots of the boat inspections? And what responsibility does somebody have to get a boat inspected?
Well, there's no responsibility, actually. But it's just one of those things that the DNR provides, especially on holiday weekends.
Okay.
Last weekend was Memorial Day, and they always set up a schedule at different boat ramps throughout the state. Mm-hmm. Where they actually come up to you, and all they do is they just say, show me a lifeguard's over for everybody that's going to be on board. Show me a throw cushion.
How about, do you have to have one for a dog?
You do not have to have one for a dog, but it is highly recommended.
Okay.
They're just making sure before you get out on the water that you have everything that you need.
Right.
And in a lot of cases, if you don't have something, they will assist you. That's way better than getting out on the lake and getting checked and not having something that you need and may possibly run the risk of getting a ticket.
Right.
Yeah.
So what type of things give you a ticket?
Well, as far as what you have to have on the boat, to be legal on the boat, you have to have a PFD or a life jacket for everybody on board. You have to have a throw cushion. You have to have a fire extinguisher, and you have to have a sounding device, either a horn or a whistle. That's all here inland. On the coast, you do have to have flares, but we don't because of the inland. We do not have to.
Right.
Those are the as far as the equipment that you need. That's what you're going to have on the water to be legal. There are other things that can get you in trouble too. Mm-hmm. Drinking and boating is a big no-no.
Kind of like drinking and driving.
It is exactly like drinking and driving. The same limits, So
you can get a ticket for that.
Oh yes,
yeah, okay.
You can get a BUI just like a DUI.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I didn't know that.
So that's just, and it's just like I say, it's the same legal limits for boating as it is for driving a car.
Wow.
Yeah. So
now, back in the day when I used to do my show from over there at Sharp Facets, we used to do a lot of stories about nakedness on Lake Greenwood, and we had people that used to cite people that were on Lake Greenwood naked in their pontoon boats. Is that still a problem in today's world, Mark? Do you know about this?
I must not have been in the right place. Because I'm on the lake a lot, and I have not seen that. I have missed that somehow.
Okay.
I have missed that. So,
we might be more conservative now. Who knows?
You,
Who knows?
You never can tell. That's exactly right. I'm sure that some of that goes on. But I personally have not witnessed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is something. Boating certainly is a fun part, and the lake is certainly where a lot of people want to be. What about all the expansion that's going on out there at the lake, and how does that affect being on the lake?
Yeah, so definitely our area has grown up on the lake. I've been in the boat business for 33 years, and basically, and I was a boater before that. Back in the 80s, Lake Greenwood was really all lake cabins,
right,
and woods. And there are areas that were all wooded or cow pastures. Then you talk to people and they're like, "Oh, so and so owns that. It'll never be developed." Right. And most of those areas now are developed. It has been a good thing for Greenwood. Lake Greenwood has become a destination now, and with textiles kind of going away. The lake has brought us another revenue source,
right,
and another reason for people to come to Greenwood, South Carolina, and they have come from everywhere.
That's
and
true.
We're glad to have them.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And they also, I've reported on this, about a lot of fishing. It's very good for fishing, and they have a lot of fishing competitions.
They do. Now, I'm not a fisherman.
Right.
I can't catch anything. But there are a lot of fishermen on Lake Greenwood, and you'll see them out there in every weather condition,
right,
from scorching hot to really Snow.
Snow.
I have seen fishermen out fishing off my dock in the snow, pouring rain. It doesn't matter.
They don't.
From what the fishermen tell me, the fish don't care. They're out there to catch them. Had company in for the weekend, and all he did all weekend was stand on the dock and throw a rod all weekend long.
And he was very happy.
And he had a blast. Yes, he had a blast. So it is a great hobby. And nowadays, kids going to college, there are fishing scholarships available.
Well, Lander has
a fishing team.
Yep.
So and it is a great opportunity for kids to get started young in an activity that will keep them focused on a positive thing. Like fishing, and these kids that are going out to these fishing tournaments, they have to have a driver. They can't drive their own boat, so that means that usually one of their parents is the driver for the team, for the 2-person team, and so they're fishing, but they're also spending time with their parents.
Yeah. I have heard that spending time with your children fishing, whether it's in a tournament or just going out and teaching them how to fish, is a good activity for conversation and getting away from those screens.
Yes, absolutely. So, that's what makes my job so fun, is that I have the ability to help families spend time together, bond together. There's not too many things nowadays that teenagers want to do with their parents.
That's true.
And in a lot of cases, they've got that phone in their hands all day long. What I see is people taking their families out on the lake, spending quality time with their families, and actually bonding and bettering their relationships. I talk to people a lot of times, and I'll say, are you a boater? Well, no, but we had a boat when I was growing up.
Right.
And I'll say, well, tell me about it. And you'll see them look up and start thinking, and then start telling me about their boat and their experiences on their boat, and there's always a smile, because those memories won't go away. So that's what I feel like I do in being in the boat business, is I help people create memories that they'll never forget. And hopefully that's a good thing.
Absolutely. Jeff always said, my husband used to say, that the business of the future would be an experiences, and boating would be an experience, because then the memories that you create from that become the thing that you always remember. And I think it's great from a passed down from generation to generation that people have those type of memories.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's just such an honor to be able to help people create those memories.
Absolutely. Now, as far as talking about this, though, what about having cell phones on a pontoon boat? How does that work, Mark? I just have heard some horror stories about phones being dropped in Lake Greenwood.
I'm sure that happens.
Yes.
Fortunately, I have never dropped a phone in the lake. Now I'll probably drop one in this weekend.
Yeah, right. Because you'll be working
that's right.
there at Grand Harbor showing boats. Okay, go ahead.
That's right. So I'm sure that the lake has eaten a lot of phones.
Right.
But it is.
But what do you recommend, or do you have anything
that people
do with them?
You can get little dry bags. That's what I recommend. Get a little dry bag for your phone. You can get waterproof cases nowadays, and as long as it doesn't go too deep, there's a good chance of finding it. Mm-hmm. And just be careful. A lot of people put them on a lanyard around their neck.
Right.
So there are some things that you can do to lessen your chances of losing the boat, the phone in the lake.
Now, what about with young kids? I mean, I would think you'd want to be real careful on a pontoon boat, because little kids are very fast and move very quickly.
That's true. You do definitely want to make sure that kids are wearing a life jacket. Mm-hmm. But the good thing about the pontoon boat is you've got high railings that pretty much have them corralled in.
Right.
So it's actually a very safe boat for a young child to be on.
Right.
And there's some layouts that suit children better than others. So that's one of the questions when we're talking to somebody about a boat is, are there any small children or small pets that are going to be on the boat for you? And we'll lead you to a layout that's going to make sure that they're safe.
Right. Well, I think, that would be a consideration. And so creating memories, getting together. You're going to be out at right here on Lake Greenwood at Grand Harbor at the marina. Now, people will just be able to drive right out there and go right to the marina. Will there be signs?
Yes. So the gates will be open. So that'll let everybody come on in. And then we will have a couple of signs directing you to the marina. Right. Real easy after you get into the neighborhood to find it, though. But we'll have a couple signs directing you to the marina.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
So you'll have all. Now, what about music, stereos? I mean, you do all that kind of stuff too.
So all pontoon boats come with nice stereos already.
They do.
Some are nicer than others. You know,
Right.
we've got some that, like that sampan, has really got a jam up system. I mean, it's awesome amps, subwoofers, the whole bit. But every pontoon boat is going to come with a stereo. So a lot of people really like a boom. They like that boom. So we can help them with
There's
that.
something about that bass.
Exactly. And then you got the bling too. So the RGB lighting systems that people see boats running up and down the lake with at night with the bling lights flashing so you see a lot of that on pontoon boats. So it looks cool, but it's also kind of a safety deal at night.
Right. Now, what about being out on the lake at night? You have to be careful, don't you?
Absolutely. You have to be careful anytime you're doing anything. But you want to be extra cautious at night. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, there are some accidents, and as a general rule, most of those are at night. So the big thing is, don't be hanging out all day at the sandbar or wrapped it up and then take off at night, especially after maybe a drink or two too much. So you just want to encourage everybody to be super safe, be super cautious. But after the sun goes down, you need to take it to another level. You really you have to watch where you're going, and you have to assume that the other person that you see does not see you,
that's what I was thinking, right.
Just be very defensive. On the flip side of that, it is very nice to be out on the lake. I mean, it's full moon, bright skies. There's nothing like floating around on the lake and seeing it from that perspective. There's nothing quite like it.
So you really need a boat to be out there doing these activities then, right? And particularly a pontoon boat, and get one if you don't have one this weekend. Would that be true?
I personally think that everyone should have a pontoon boat. That is my personal opinion.
Yes, and I guess you work really hard to make sure that everybody gets a pontoon boat, don't you, Mark Murff?
We really try hard. We do, yes.
Out at Gunnells Marine, you'll find no better than Mark Murff. I've known Mark for many, many, many years. Kathy has gotten a lot of fine jewelry from Sharp Facet's gallery over the years.
She has.
Yes, and she, of course, was a teacher. She's retired now, and I guess she's probably enjoying lake life a lot.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's great. So, what else would we like to talk about? Now, we've talked a little bit about a lot of different things. What would you like to delve into to talk maybe a little deeper about?
Well, again, I just want to encourage everybody to come out. You may not even be thinking about buying a boat today, but you don't see an awful lot of in-water boat shows.
Correct.
So, now is a good time. If you're thinking, I'm going to retire next year and I want to buy a boat, this would be a great opportunity for you to come out and check them out. Start thinking ahead. Start looking ahead. And not to mention, we're going to have some specials this weekend. I've talked to my manufacturers. They're going to give us some money on the backside to help us out, help get prices down as low as we can possibly get them.
Do you take trade-ins?
Absolutely.
So
if we don't have to feed it, we'll take it in on trade.
You have to feed it. That's
Exactly. So we will take boats in on trade, and we need those boats. We need those used boats because we have a lot of people that are looking for used boats. So we would love to get those.
Okay. So what if somebody is looking for that starter boat and maybe they've never had a boat, so they come out there they probably could come to the boat show, but then probably would find more selection, I would think, at your place.
Yeah, if they come out and take a look at the boat show, we'll be able to get an idea about what they're looking for. We have a lot of first-time boat owners, and that's something we kind of pride ourselves in. There's a lot of dealerships that somebody will come in and they will get sold a boat, and not necessarily cancel to get a boat. Just the salesman sells them what they want to sell them.
Right.
We try to help people figure out exactly what they need, exactly what's going to fit their needs, and then help walk them through that process. So a lot of the dealers you'll find, they'll buy a boat, they'll go pick up the boat or have the boat delivered to their home. Whoever the person turning the boat over will say, "Well, here's your key. There you go. You crank it." That's not the way we do things.
I think that's important. Right.
We take pride in our deliveries. So I did this before, and now I have a full-time delivery captain. Not full, but he's there 3 days a week. That all he does is boat deliveries. And he takes the boat to someone's home or takes them to the boat ramp on the trailer, whatever the case may be, and he spends quality time with the customer showing them what every switch does, what every button does, how to crank it, how to do everything. You know, most of our boats now have power bimini tops, so he teaches you how to use that. First-time boat owners, you know, we have a lot of people that move into Greenwood and they build their home and they build their dock, and the most terrifying part of the whole deal is putting the boat back in the slip at the dock. So,
well, you've seen some good videos
absolutely.
about things that gone wrong.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. But when David goes out, or if I go out, we actually take time to help that first-time owner to learn how to do things like that. Help them learn how to get it into their slip. Help them learn how to pull up to a dock. Our average delivery is probably 2 to 3 hours, and not many boat dealerships do that. We want to make sure, when I'm selling a boat, the promise that I make to every customer is that we'll stay with you until you say, "Yep, I feel comfortable with using my boat." There are some people that have a lot of boats. There's a lot of people that have had a lot of boats and say, "I don't need anybody to show me anything." And we're pretty aggressive in saying, "No, you need to give us a few minutes to go over everything with you."
Things change.
That's right. Things change. And, we do that with a lot of people that have been boating for years and years, and you tell them something or show them something, and they're like, "I didn't know that." A key is a lot of boats have docking lights. They're not headlights.
Okay.
And you can get a ticket for riding down the lake at night with your docking lights on. Docking lights are for docking only, and we hear that more than any. We always, during our delivery process, we always say, "This is the switch for your docking lights. They are for docking purposes only."
Just to be able to see where the dock is or something.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. They are not headlights. They are not for running down the lake. Every year when we have fireworks out on the lake and you have this mass exodus, you'll always see these people with their headlights on, and pretty soon afterwards you'll see blue lights behind them. So you can get stopped and you can get a ticket for doing that. But things like that, those are the kind of things that we like to educate, and we like to educate on how to be safe with your boat, how to take care of your boat, how to maintenance. What you're going to need to do or what you're going to need to have us do.
Right.
A lot of people like to do their own maintenance, and that's fine. A lot of people like to be able to pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I need you to take care of my boat for the year." It's good enough. We can do that too. So we can accommodate all that.
You're really about full service.
You're
about service after the sale, I guess we could say. Yes?
Absolutely, yes. And we just thoroughly enjoy every customer that we have, from the first time boat owner all the way to the experienced guys. I mean, there's different facets of it that make it all fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think that those are things that quite often, I would kind of say Gunnells is kind of that quiet dealership. I mean, you're not out there making a lot of noise, but you certainly are taking care of your customers and doing it right.
Absolutely. We definitely try our very best to take care of our customers in every way that we can. Unfortunately, the boat business has peaks. So right before Memorial Day is usually a peak.
Right.
And sometimes we're a little bit beyond capacity, but we're always striving to do better every day. We're striving to do better, and we've got a lot of super happy customers. This past weekend I was out on the lake in between rain showers,
right?
And I rode up onto a customer who had actually just taken their delivery of their boat last week, and they were so excited. They were just so excited, first-time boat owners,
right?
And they were just so excited about their boat and how the delivery went, and they were like, "We've been sitting there all day long waiting for it to stop raining," and they hit the lake. So it's just so fun. Boating is fun.
Well, that's a happy business, right?
It is.
Boating is a happy business.
It
So
is.
I think this is terrific. I'm so glad you came on here to talk about this. I think one of the most interesting things I've learned is that Penny can have a life jacket.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Penny can be safe. That's right.
That's right. And because I would hate for her to jump in because she would like to jump in. She'd be one of those that would just jump in. But I also think some of the most important things that I've learned today is that you're all about the service, all about caring about your customers and making sure that they have what they need to boat successfully.
That is correct. That is correct. That's pretty much anything that you need, we can help you with. If we don't have it, we can get it within a day or so. Have a lot of people come to us for parts, a lot of people coming to us for accessories, a lot of people coming to us for
There's not a
service.
lot of places you can go.
There's not. No, there's not.
Yeah, and unless you're going to travel a big distance, I guess.
That's
but
correct.
Being right here at Lake Greenwood. Now, if somebody wanted to contact you, you have a website.
We do, www.gunnellsmarine.com.
Well, that's easy enough.
That's easy enough.
You know.
That's exactly right.
That's right. And what's a phone number if somebody wants to call, if they've been listening and want to call you after you get off the air?
Yeah, so the number there at the store is 864-223-2275. And we're there, normal business hours are 9 to 5:30, Monday through Friday, and Saturday from 9 to 1.
9 to 1. But this weekend, you're going. Now, will there be anybody at the place, or is everybody going to be out there?
There will. We'll have a short staff there at the store.
Okay.
So we will be open Friday and Saturday at the store.
Okay.
So if there's anything that you need.
And you're on the, what is the actual address out there?
It's 102 Rock Church Road, but it's really on Highway 221-72.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
because you see the sign when you're driving down there and you see some boats kind of sometimes. I always know where it's at.
That's right. And right now, I'll tell you, it looks kind of empty. One, we're getting boats ready for the boat show. Two, we're getting ready for a super exciting project. We're getting ready to build a showroom. So we're in the.
Oh my God, a real showroom?
A real showroom, yeah. So we're in the.
You're putting a lake in out there? That's great, Mark.
no lake.
Can you put one boat at a time? A big swimming pool, right? There you go. I like that idea.
Yeah. No, we're just gonna we're gonna add a showroom to enable people to come out and enjoy looking at boats without being exposed to the elements. We're in the very final stages of planning and just working through some of the last final details. But we have everything on order, and so over the summer you'll see a lot going on there. We'll have a mess for a while, but that'll be okay because it's going to be a great thing in the end.
How big is it going to be? It have to be huge to put a lot of boats in it.
It's going to be about 6,000 square feet.
Okay,
We're limited
good
because
size.
of the shape and the size of our lot, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to put about 14 pontoon boats in there.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the same size as our boat show space at the Greenville Boat Show.
Right.
And we put 14 boats in there.
Wow. Okay. Well, you need to go out there this weekend. Mark, tell them where you're going to be this weekend.
Okay, so we will be at the Grand Harbor Marinas, a neighborhood Grand Harbor. We'll be at the marina there, and I'll be there from, that'll be Friday and Saturday, and we'll be there at 10 a.m. to, let's call it 6 p.m. both days, make it easy, okay?
Okay.
So we'll be there. It is open to the public, and we will have some special pricing and incentives. And then, just like I say, just come out and, if you've ever considered buying a boat, come out, take a look, and you may be surprised that you fall in love with one.
Get the boat bug.
The boat bug. Yeah, that's exactly right.
The boat bug, that you need a boat. You need a boat.
Yes.
Now, I guess people, if they've got a boat they might want to trade in, they could come from the lake, right?
It's a great idea. It's a great idea. Yeah, that way there's no question. Just come right on down to the marina and your boat, and we can take a look at it. And yeah, we can. That gets us one step closer.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
Exactly.
Why wait? I mean, just bring the boat right on the lake. Come right over there to Grand Harbor.
It makes it easy.
It does make it
easy.
Well, Mark, this has been really great to have you here today. I certainly hope that this weekend is a big, big success. And I know we've had a lot of people. Let's see. Gwen Gunnells just said, "Great job, Mark." Stephanie said, "My mother's landlord in Murrell's Inlet would drive to Lake Greenwood to fish." How about that? That's pretty cool. So we've had some good comments here this morning. I know people will be coming out and seeing the boat show, so good job.
Thank you very much, Ann. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And Penny, do you think we need a boat? We may need a boat. Okay. All right. That's going to do it for us, folks. Thanks so much to Mark Murff for being here with Gunnells Marine. You need to go see him this weekend, Friday and Saturday, right out there at Grand Harbor. It's going to be a blast. So go out there and see him. Mark, thanks again.
Thank you so much.
All right. This is WCRS. We're going to drop the curtain, right, Penny? We're going to try to play some music here as we go to the end of the show. So let's see about this one. Can we find the right one? Well, maybe not. Maybe we can't find the right music to get us out of here. But we have had a good time here today doing the show. And I can't find the right music. There you go. That's just it. Tell you what we're going to do. We are going to play this ad. It just happens to be Gunnells Marine.
With Gunnells Marine, inviting you to our in-water boat show Friday, May 29th and Saturday, May 30th at Grand Harbor Marina N96. Come step aboard the newest models of Godfrey and Harris pontoons, explore premium features, and even take a ride on the water. We'll also have water sports gear and accessories to get your family ready for the summer on Lake Greenwood. Special event pricing, manufacturer incentives, and financing opportunities available during the show. May 29th and 30th, 10 a.m., open to the public. Stop by, step aboard, and let the summer begin with Gunnells Marine.